back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to reveal what engine goes into the E36. Alright, so today we reveal what engine goes into the E36, and we got Fetty with us. Let's go. Just gotta give you guys a background as to how I went about getting this engine. I'm gonna ask Fetty a question. Are you surprised that I went with this choice or this option?
Honestly, at first, I thought it was a compulsive decision.
Okay, not gonna lie. I was at work and totally was like, dude, I'm super pissed. I don't have a running car for the season or for the future. I need to make a decision and I need to make it quick. So I was like, well, shit.
But it didn't turn out to be a bad decision.
It didn't. And honestly, like, for the price that I paid for it, it was one of the cheaper ones that were listed. So I could have waited and gotten it way more expensive, if you will. But honestly, I found a good deal for it and I just pulled the trigger. I literally pushed the button and it showed up on my doorstep like 4 days later. But what do you think of that motor? And what do you think of that choice compared to, like, you know, other engines that we talked about? Because there were so many different options we talked about. And, like, okay, so just throw it out there. I thought LS3, right?
Yeah.
That was an option for sure. Crate motor or like a truck motor. I could pull it from the junkyard, like a junker, $800, as long as it runs, you know. I thought of that option. Link it up to my ZF or a Tremec. I also thought 2JZ, 1JZ. I thought of an M54 B30. So there was a lot of options, but to be honest with you guys, I was kind of fed up with BMW, so I didn't want another BMW engine. What did you think of that particular choice?
I think it's a perfect motor, to be honest. And
So,
it's like, it came out of my dream car, so
Yeah.
I was definitely hyped about it.
enough rambling. Let's show you guys what it is. It's a boy. I went with a 1JZ GTE. This is just the valve cover of it. Here is the actual motor. It sits right behind the car. The new heart. It's a 1JZ GTE. It's a bone stock engine. It came out of a JZX 110, which was an automatic. Came from Japan, so it has 35,000 original miles. It is, like I said, it's mint, bone stock. It has the factory ceramic bearing turbo, so it doesn't have like an upgraded turbo or anything like that. I do have plans to do a CX Racing up mount turbo manifold. I also want to go with a Pulsar turbo. I'm going to run without a blow-off valve. Also, I'm going to V-band the wastegate and also the turbo, so that way I don't have to bolt the turbo onto the manifold, because that was a giant pain in the ass, and I kind of learned from replacing the turbo on the car with the M52 when I thought it was blown, and it was blown, but you know, it ended up being a bigger issue with the ringland. But having a V-band there, it's gonna make our lives so much easier, right? Because instead of having to bolt 4 bolts in there and it's super tight and all this bullshit, I'm gonna just, you know, V-band it in, clamp it, and that's it. Another thing that I like about the JZ, they sit upright on the e-chassis, like any chassis really. They sit straight into the engine bay. Right, so let me show you guys what I mean by that. A good comparison would be this parts car. It's the same, you know, it's the same idea. But if you guys look, this is slanted. It's got like a slant right there. So it's not technically a straight 6. It is a straight 6, but it's a slant straight 6. It gives you a lot less room on the exhaust side to put the turbo, because that's where the turbo goes. The exhaust manifold or the turbo manifold will be sitting right here. So now that the JZ, it sits, you know, upright and not tilted, the turbo essentially sits right here. So it gives you a lot more room for activity. The biggest reason I did it is honestly for the sound. JZs just sound amazing, especially the 1JZ.
1J's definitely sounds better than 2J's.
I love 2JZs, but 1JZs have a special place in my heart because of the sound and because of the turbo flutter. It's just something about them. I guess it's a displacement, I don't know, but they sound so good, and I love that turbo flutter. So, and that's my goal with this build. I want to make the right noises, make it sound super good, and I want it to be reliable, because like BMW engines are capable of a lot of performance and, you know, 400 or 500 horsepower.
Takes a lot to get there.
But it's just like so much maintenance to get there. With a JZ, honestly, it's turnkey ready and just go rip, you know? And like this car technically made about 400 horsepower. Honestly, I'm super happy with that power, and I kind of want to maintain that. So if I can squeeze 400 horsepower out of a bone stock 1JZ, I'm not going to open it up. And that's another thing that I love about JZs. They are ready to rip. You know, you don't have to do ARP head studs. I mean, you can if you want to. It's definitely good to do them. But for the power that I'm going for, it's not very necessary. So I don't have to open it up. I don't have to do a head gasket, ARP head studs, none of that. I'm just going to do 400 horsepower, make it safe, and have a lot of fun. And, you know, with M52s, you can do that as well. But again, you just got to put a lot more into them to make them a little bit more reliable. So, and I'm just a Toyota fan. I really like JZs. I've always wanted a JZ, and now I have one. So I'm excited to bring you guys along in this build. The build series will start soon. I don't know exactly when. So I plan on pulling the engine with Fetty within the next few days, if not next week or so. As soon as we pull the engine, then I'm going to start prepping the chassis for the swap. Essentially do the engine adapter kit, which I think CX Racing has one, and then I'll do a ZF to JZ adapter kit. PMC makes a kit for it, which is really nice, and also the Collins adapter. So, you know, I'll run that, new clutch, new flywheel, new pressure plate, and all that stuff, and it should be good to go. And then for wiring an ECU, I want to go with Link ECU, standalone. I'm gonna have somebody tune it and do it right. And like I said, I'm not pushing crazy power. I just want 400 conservative, and I do want to go on E85. As far as the wiring goes, I'm gonna go with a Wiring Specialties harness, so that way they can make it and, you know, make it to fit this car, and essentially it's just gonna adapt to the harness that's already in it. Very excited. It's gonna be a badass drift car that's gonna sound super good on the track, so I'm very excited for that. I want to get a full podcast set up and run that. It'll be super cool to just be able to talk and share that with you guys, just see what we're always thinking about and always talking about. So if you do want to join us in that and would like to see that happen, leave a comment down below and let us know that you would be interested in hearing our podcast.
Think of some names to put in the comments.
Yeah. Think of some names that our podcast should be named and put it down in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. What should it be named? And also,
we'll have some guests
yeah,
as well. Some people we know all around.
like you have a couple friends that own BMWs.
They actually already have podcasts.
And like honestly, just bring a lot of knowledge to the table, what we know, what we could share together. And who knows, maybe we'll have a drink or two and kind of join the ride and see how funny it can get. So all right, so I'm going to keep this video short for you guys. So there's a lot of work to get done here. First of all, this is my Corolla engine. It's the old Corolla engine that I used to have in it. It burned a lot of oil, so I ended up getting that motor out, and then I put in a 08 motor that doesn't burn oil. Anyhow, it's taking up room in the engine stand that I have. It's my only engine stand. So I do want to get rid of this motor and pull the engine out of the E36, obviously, so I could use the stand for the M52. I don't want to get rid of the M52 quite yet. I do want to build it, like I have plans for it in the future. But in the meantime, we're going to go with the 1JZ. And we're going to start building that here soon. So there's lots of moving parts around. The E46 is actually at my buddy's shop getting a clutch done right now. That way it's drift ready and usable. It also needs brakes, so he's taking care of that with the center support bearing too. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of moving parts. I'm trying to actually make the best out of this situation. At the end, I still do want to take advantage of this drift season. I don't want it to go to waste. Most of the build for the E36 is going to be done in the winter when it's off season, and currently I'm going to try to focus as much of my money and time into the E46 so that way I can drift that car and not miss out on the 2025 drift season. If you guys would like to see more content, either the E36 or the E46, definitely leave a comment down below. And if you do want to see this podcast come to life, let me know down in the comments. And for now, I'll see you guys in the next video.